Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so you got nothing for the clip-on tie.
Hey, well, I almost went the wrong way with the tie.
Yeah,
But
if
yeah,
you
man, excited for this. This is going to be my first race. I'm actually going to get to watch in race because, you know, had a little birdie drop me off a gift this week. So
Yeah, let's talk
here
about
we
that a
are.
little bit. You finally are on Xbox. You've been racing a little bit on the Xbox One. You've been racing with the guys who are trying to qualify. So you spent this week at
Mhm.
Bristol. How's the Xbox lobby's been treating you, and how do you enjoy the competition over there?
Um, uh, Competition is absolutely awful. No knock on them, but I believe 85% of the Xbox community is trolls.
Wow,
I mean,
so
it's terrible.
there's like 40 guys from the Xbox in this race. You do realize you just called like half of more than half of these guys trolls that are racing here tonight. But
No,
his opinions don't reflect eSpark or me. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, no. I would give the guys that are in this race deserve to be in this race.
Yeah.
But it's just you get at least 1 to 2 drivers in every lobby that tries to wreck you. So the guys that are finally getting to post times on the qualifier boards, they've worked really hard and dodged a lot of people to actually get those times up. So I made a couple of runs myself, had some fun with it. I will say this: anybody using an Xbox One controller, I respect you because that's a whole different level to me.
You're still trying to figure it out. I think I had to teach you how to invite people to a party the other night. So he's still learning the ropes of the Xbox. So give him a little bit of love, give him a little bit of patience, a lot of room on the racetrack because he still doesn't understand how everything works on the Xbox, but he's getting there. Speaking of Xbox, and we talked about it a little bit here, we got about 35 plus of the best drivers on the Xbox console racing here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mile-and-a-half racetrack. It's going to be 134 laps tonight. Pit window is anywhere between, 17 to 20 something laps. Unless you're JMac, of course, you're probably going to stretch that even further to 22, 23 laps over the rest of the field. But let's talk about the race tonight. As a guy who builds setups, that's your thing. How would you set up your car tonight for a long race here at Las Vegas?
All about comfort. With this many drivers on this track, you're going to be in traffic. Maybe the top 2 or 3 will be able to break away, but given the draft and the size of the track, it's going to be all about comfort. You need to be able to run the high side in 1 and 2 later on in the run. Not only that, you need to be able to run the high side in 3 and 4, especially if you get hung out. So I would definitely lean more toward comfort than speed.
All right, I see it. Trying to go for that, that comfort ride over speed. It's Las Vegas mile and a half. It's already going to be fast. These guys are going to be lined up in the draft, trying to get as much speed as they can out of the car. So setting it up just so you don't burn the tires up is a pretty smart plan. And let's talk about this a little bit here. We usually do our over under later in the race, or later in the pre-race. But I want to talk about the over under. We're at Vegas, where the odds matter. We tried to find Nicky Jobs. I sat down with him at a buffet here in Vegas after losing my pants at a craps table. And I didn't get a word in edgewise because all I heard was him chowing down on the lasagna and egg rolls and Mexican food. Great buffet here in Vegas, I got to say. But he didn't really give me any numbers for tonight, so we're going to go cold. What is your prediction for your over-under on cautions?
Over under, I'm going to throw out. This seems to be the number everybody goes with, either 6 or 7. I'm going to go 7, and I'm going to go under. I believe we're
Oh.
going to get some good green flag runs in here. I think it's later on in the season. Everybody's got good and calm, so we'll definitely see that.
So you're right in the range. You're very close to what I was picking. I almost cried because I'm gonna go with 8 and I'm gonna go over. I think we're gonna go anywhere between 8 to 10. As we see when these races start to get down to the wire, that last 10 laps when a caution comes out, it's just calamity corner in every corner. Turn 1 becomes a wreck fest situation where if you're in the back, you want to get into that top 15, top 10. So I'm really going to say 8, and I'm going to say a little over, possibly 10 cautions is what we'll see tonight. But these are some of the best drivers, so we've seen it week in, week out. Long green flag runs. These guys get spread out. A lot of patience on the track. I think the biggest concern for a caution to come out, in my opinion, tonight is going to be getting on and off the pit road. We've seen a lot of guys have issues this season so far with slowing that car down, getting it down on the pit road, and not locking them up and spinning them out, where a lot of people have been victims. We saw that happen to Diego a few weeks. We saw it happen to Tom a couple of weeks in a row. So I really, that's where I'm going to keep my eyes on the track for any kind of situations in trouble.
Yeah, definitely so. And I am getting some information in when it comes to qualifying. Um,
I'm seeing
Sitting
that.
on your front row is none other than Track Bar himself.
Oh, who would have guessed?
I am Fluffy Racing 17 from the PS4 side. So
Wow.
looks like you got some short enough hot rods out front tonight, which I think will lead us into the next thing. Tell me who your picks are for tonight, Zane.
No. You get to go. You get to go. It's your first time in the booth, so you get to go first.
First time in the booth, I think I'm going to go with a breakout night tonight for JRM Dohar. He's had some really bad luck. He's had some good runs, but it seems like if something bad on the track happens, he ends up getting caught up in it. And I definitely know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think tonight is the night, though, that he overcomes that, and we see Dohar return to victory lane. Um, for my dark horse, I've been skating around the Xbox lobbies, talking to a bunch of different guys, just learning personalities and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to go with Mike DB. He's been
Ooh,
putting
good
a lot
pick.
of work in, been practicing a lot. Super chill guy to talk to in the parties. So I got to give Mike DB the shout out and give him the nod for tonight.
So I'm going to go a little bit different here tonight. My pick for the win is going to be Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. He's starting outside of the front row, second tonight. The guy's got speed. We see it week in, week out. I think tonight will be his night once again. He'll pull that forward into victory lane. My dark horse, though, is something a lot of people may say, what are you talking about? But I'm torn between two guys, and I can only pick one, but I want to at least give the shout out to the two guys. I'm looking at Big John Stud, my middle name Mud, and of course Chrome Capone. But I think I'm going to have to give it to the 42 car. He's been dominant, showing up in the top 5 week in, week out, just like Big John has. But I think tonight might be the night here out in Vegas in the desert that Chrome Capone's going to finally put that 42 in victory lane.
Yeah, that is definitely good picks. He has, he's been there toward the end of the races. He's been doing a lot here lately. You can tell his speed's definitely picked up later on this season. So I definitely see that pick paying off toward the end.
And I'm really hoping so. I just want to be able to say Fluffy Stenhouse wins the race. That's my favorite part. He's actually so slowly coming on to that whole conversation. But let's see if we can't go find our. Oh I'm forgetting. Hold on. We're getting told by race control that Chrome isn't racing tonight. So it's a sad day. So Big John, you win by default. So my dark horse is going to be Big John Stud, my middle name Mud. Dang, Chrome, you could have been my hero tonight, but you're not racing. So it looks like Big John is going to be my dark horse. And speaking of a couple of things here, let's see if we can't go get the man who starts fourth tonight, our in-race reporter, the driver of that 88 machine, J.M. Dohar. Mr. Dohar, you got a copy?
I got a copy, Zane and Red.
Hey, man, how you feeling tonight? We're at Vegas. We got 134 laps. You're starting in the top 5. You got a hot rod up front. What's your plan?
I'm feeling really good. I feel like we got a very fast race car. We built on it from the Pro League earlier back in September time, so we've been really working on it. I think we might have a good piece to go out here and to get to victory lane, so we're just going to try and run up front and lead as many laps as possible and stay out of trouble.
Any strategy going into your playbook? You going to try to stretch it? You got a mule gear going on, a tractor gear, or is it pure speed? You want to get out front and stay out front?
Pure speed on this bad boy. We'll let the strategy go to J-Mac.
Oh, and speaking of J-Mac, I think we might get lucky enough. Let's see if we can't dial him in. And I'm going to talk with the man, the myth, the voice. He's also a broadcaster, in case you didn't know, and a Mystery Science Theater fan. Mr. J-Mac Attack, how you doing tonight?
Indeed, I'm doing wonderful. Doing great. Ready to get racing here. Itching to go.
Itching to go. I want to talk to you a little bit here. You've shown week in, week out that you have the strategy. You can figure out the tactics. You can stretch the fuel. But you find late in the run that either you get caught up in someone's mess, you either have to drive yourself back from 20th back into the top 10, you break into the top 5, and you fall back into the top 15. What do you have to do to put that car into victory lane here tonight?
Be aggressive and be better on restarts. We have a little bit of strategy dialed into this thing, but this has been the least aggressive with strategy and most aggressive with speed I've been all season. So qualified 8th, so good start. We're up near the front, and that's going to be the goal tonight. We're gonna race this thing. We're gonna drive that 3-car hard and try to keep it up front the whole time and learn a little bit that way. And I think that's where we're getting beat. We keep I'm doing the strategy and I get it right, and then it all goes to crap, and then I'm not really I don't know I haven't had practice around these guys hot lapping and racing hard, so that's gonna be it tonight. I'm gonna go hard.
Well, he starts 8th on the field tonight. He's going to try to put the hammer down to put himself up front and be aggressive on these restarts. Good luck to you tonight, J-Mac. And Red, I think you have somebody with you as well.
Yes, sir. Going to talk to Matt tonight. Go fast, Matt. You got a copy, buddy.
Copy, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Going into this race, you are tied in points right now. How do you feel about that? And what is your expectations going into tonight?
All right, I feel great going into tonight. Brought back my Pro League car from the earlier race at Las Vegas. During the 2-week period that we had off, I've made some changes to it. I think I've actually made it better than what we brought last week to Vegas. Didn't get a good draft lap in, ran a solo time, so starting 11th here. But overall, I really think we got a good car. We'll have a good short run and a long run. A little bit concerned with the tire wear with little practice. But overall, I think we're going to have another good top 5 car here.
Very good. Well, good luck tonight, Matt, and we'll catch you hopefully afters in the winner circle.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope to be here.
And I'm lucky enough to be down here with our points leader. The David versus the Goliath battle has been conceded, I guess you can say. The Bolt, you are now our points leader. You're tied with Matt, but I'm going to say Matt is just really the second place car because your name is up top number 1 on the points board. You've beaten Track Bar. You've beaten everybody. You've been dominant all season. How you feeling going into this race tonight at Las Vegas?
Oh, man, I'm feeling really good. It's a pleasure to be here for this pre-race interview. It's awesome. Feeling pretty good about Las Vegas. Did some testing. Car was working pretty good. In the short run, it's a little rough. The bumps in 1 and 2 are going to be the biggest factor. You're going to see a lot of guys hit those bumps and wash up the track. So that's going to be a big thing, trying to avoid up those bumps. But on the long run, I think we're pretty solid, and hopefully we can get this car into victory lane. I'm super excited to get this race underway. We had that week break for the Super Bowl, and hopefully our hard work will show and can continue this moving forward in the race. And yeah, hope you guys have a lot of fun in the booth too. I'm excited to get this thing going, and yeah, let's do it. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Well, good luck to you, the Bolt. We'll see you out there. A focus bolt is a deadly bolt, as HD says, and you're starting 3rd tonight. So go get yourself strapped in, as I'm hearing from Race Control. You guys are about to go green.
All right, thanks, buddy. Have fun, man.
Not a problem. As the Bolt heads down to his car, and I run up to my spot in the booth, Red, how are you feeling about this? You got some top cars up front right now. Dohar, the Bolt, Track Bar, our second place car on the outside, Fluffy. These are all Pro League drivers that are in this top 4. So the question becomes, who's going to knock down the fastest guy out there in that 37 machine? Or is Track Bar going to, burn out the car sooner than later?
Yeah, that's what is really going to come down to, in my opinion, is going to be later in the run. From about lap 13, where you actually start seeing tire wear, what's going to happen. But we've also seen, over the course of the past couple of races, that it's just not about, the long run when it comes to Track Bar. He tends to even have the speed on the long run, but he's always running out of gas.
Yep, he always is. And we're getting loaded in here. The drivers are in their cars. They are now getting ready to hit the track. Red, if you're jumping in, go ahead and jump in now as they are loaded. I got my invite, and I'm already loaded in with them. So we'll be able to watch this action kick off here from Las Vegas. Chat, welcome to the stream. I see you guys chatting down there. Welcome. I see all the follows. Apologize I can't dance for you. As the Bolt says, he learned all his dance moves from me, which is not a good thing to be proud of because I am the weirdest dancer ever. But thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for watching the stream. We appreciate you guys. This is Filter Time eSpark Series Racing on a Sunday night. Still waiting on the drivers to get prepped here. Longest load ever.
Yeah, this one is dragging out a bit.
There we
What
go.
do they always say on MRN? as we pause for station identification.
Yeah, as we pause for station identification, but we can't because the green flag is out here at Las Vegas.
Still loading, so
It's all good.
Us off into turn 1.
Track Bar has got the lead on the start of the race here. Back behind him, they're 2 wide, 12 rows deep. Fluffy and Bolt fighting side by side. The Bolt's going to clear the 17. He's going to suck up right to the bumper of the 37 as we dive into turn 3. In turn 3, they're still single file with Track Bar. Bolt, Fluffy's going to drop down low to cut off Tom Fitty in the 6 car. As we come off of turn 4, down the front stretch, it's still Track Bar as he leads lap number 1 at Las Vegas.
As we're coming into turn number 1, you see things are getting dicey around the 5th position. Can't tell. It looks like Dohar is running all the way up against the wall as they come off turn 2. 3 wide down the back straight, but it straightens back out as Tedeschi moves up to the 6th position.
Oh, and we got a wreck on the back stretch. Big one. Cars flipping and flying in the air. That's going to bring out a caution here.
Yep, they do hit their first caution, and this will kind of give a couple of people, time to repair some damage. As I'm seeing from one of our pit road sides that someone's got 8 seconds of damage already.
8 seconds of damage, and they only got 45 seconds of green. So this is going to really start changing the face of the race. How many guys are going to be talking about, man, keep it patient, keep it green. We only just started. But if the Busch Clash was any kind of telltale sign of what we could see in racing on a Sunday, it might be a situation where only 4 cars race it out at the end.
I will say this. That Busch Clash today was fun, but at the same time, there was a lot of money wasted as we get set to go green.
Yep, we're lining back up. 2 double file. Green flag is in the air once again. The Bolt's going to lead them to the start-finish line. Track Bar is going to try to squeeze them, but can't quite do it.
Yep, it looks like they're diving off into turn 1. Track Bar may get hung out as Tom sticks it to the back of the 18. He's going to stay sucked up behind him with JRM Dohar giving him the big push down the backstretch.
But Track Bar got the momentum on the high side as he moves back up to second, powering into turn 3. It's the Bolt leading the 37 of Track Bar, the 17 of Fluffy, the 6 of Tom, and the 88 of Dohar rounds out our top 5 as we come out of turn 4.
Yeah, seen a huge lag spike coming out of the number 4 car. I'm not sure who that is. As the Bolt leads them back around and Fluffy's looking to the inside of the 37 going into turn 1. As they come out, it looks like the Bolt Track Bar is still hanging on, but he's going to end up getting freight train.
It's a drag race on the outside with Track Bar trying to stay door to door with the 18, that Toyota Camry R points leader, the Bolt. Track Bar's got help with the 88. The 17's pushing the 18 as we come off of turn 4. Back down the front stretch. Fluffy's going to look low. Can he lead this lap? He can't give it to the Bolt as we go into turn 1.
Looks like Fluffy's going to have the inside pull, though, going into turn 1. As he misses those bumps, gets right down against that white line. As he rolls off on the back stretch in the first position.
Fluffy is trying to get the help from his unofficial Roush teammate. Track Bar's going to dice it down low, slice and dicing. He's now snuck up on the bottom line. He's door to door again with the Bolt as we come off of turn 4 down the front stretch. Give that lap to Track Bar with the help from Fluffy.
Yeah, this is really, really tight racing. See a lot of slicing and dicing back through here. So it looks like Dohar's going to be in the 3 wide position right now, back in 5th position. The battle for 5th is definitely heating up as we have, looks like Tedeschi, Tom, and Dohar as they line back up going into 3.
The top 5 are all Pro League drivers. With the 6 car is Tom Fitty in 6. He's trying to get his name into the Pro League draft. He's running down these guys showing, hey, I can race with the best. And here Track Bar takes him into turn 1. It's 2 lines behind him. Fluffy on the inside, Bolt on the outside. Coming off of turn 2 down the front stretch, it's still Track Bar leading them.
Yeah, it's definitely what Track Bar's wanting to see behind him at this point. He's getting a little bit of clean air. He can pick and choose his lane of running now. But as you see, that 88 is sneaking in, and he's going to try to get up the track in front of the Bolt, but he cannot clear him down the front stretch.
Can't quite clear him down the front stretch, but now the 17 and the 37 have got a little bit of a breakaway. About a 2-car gap. Oh no, I think a lag spike? A wreck? I can't tell. Big one in turn 2.
Yeah, that was definitely something very interesting just happened there. from a replay, I did not have the right angle on it, but it looks like you have the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse, the 88 of Dohar. It looks like the Bolt made it through clean though, so a lot of damaged cars, especially a lot of front-running damaged cars.
That's going to be the heartache right there. Is I couldn't tell because the Fluffy was pushing on track bar a lot. And it looks like he tried to get the nose down in there and got track bar a little bit out of sorts, and that just collected the field behind him. And the guy who came out of there clean looks like it's going to be the 37 car as he's still leading here.
Yeah, I'm not exactly what happened there exactly sure. The way it looked on my screen was a huge lag spike, and all of a sudden Fluffy was in front of the track bar. So looks like they're re-racked though. Ooh, there's a lot of cars now in that front pack that's going to be new. I can't see. Fluffy looks like he's lined up about.
Green flag is out at Las Vegas again. Track bar leads them to the line. As we go into turn 1, Red, you really got to start wondering. I think that's going to be the 5 car of Moordog on the outside with the 18 on his inside. There's Tom in the 6, and I think Dohar is still sitting there. Is that Dohar? I can't really know. That's going to be the 3 of J-Mac. He started in the top 10, and now he's pushed his way into the top 5.
Yeah, I noticed they just tried to go 3 wide. Luckily, they straightened everything back out. Looks like Track Bar is going to get the preferred line once again as he pulls out to about a 5-car length lead on the front stretch.
Lap 15 in the books. Lap 16 has started of 134, and Track Bar is your leader with their other cars behind him. The Bolt and Tom battling side by side for second as we come off of turn 2.
Oh, changing camera angles. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it looks like J-Mac has snuck his way up to the 4th position as they come off 3 and 4 this time around. That'll complete lap 16.
Looking up the rear deck lid of the 37 car, we see that Interstate Battery Toyota Camry starting to use the draft to run down our race leader, our third place point sitter with Tom and J-Mac in tow. But we watch Track Bar as he uses the outside line to get the momentum, the run that he needs down the backstretch. Into turn 3, Red.
Yes, I'm going through the field once again. Sorry about that. Previous driver, it looks like Tom, the top 4, seem to have a little breakaway, but it looks like the Bolt is not here to try to stretch out from the field as he's battling Track Bar on the high side going into 1 and 2.
Off of turn 2, Bolt is going to get the door slammed on him like a thunderstorm by Track Bar. They're single filed out. Bolt looks to the inside. He's got the help with Tom as we dive into turn 3. Door to door, side by side, the 18 and the 37. These guys have been battling all season long, and here they are again off of 4 down the front stretch, and it looks like Track Bar is going to lead that lap. No, the Bolt will.
Yeah, the Bolts definitely got that. Even though they are side by side, they've stretched out to solid 15, looks like 15 car lengths in front of Moordog, and I believe that's going to be J-Mac back in the 6th position.
Off the rear deck lid once again of Track Bar here, our first place sitter, Tom Flitty, has moved his way into 2nd place in that number 6 Ford Mustang with the J-Mac and Bolt behind him as they're racing side by side. You got to wonder, when are they going to get in line? There they are, single files. We go into turn 1. And they're starting to stretch their legs on the 4th place car.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if they just calm down a little bit. But Tom don't look like he's having any of that as he looks low again. Ooh, and they just narrowly dodged. Looks like the 1 of Skirt Bush.
And the Bolt powering on the outside of Tom for 2nd. They're trying to run down Track Bar leader, still door to door, side by side. The 18, though, is like a freight train as he sucks up to the bumper of the 37.
Yeah, and what's really neat, Zane, is what you're going to see throughout this run, especially that we're getting deeper in the run, is the outside lane is going to be more prominent. You can get a bigger run. You're not using and abusing that right front tire as much. So not only do you have to worry about the bottom, but now somebody can hop up to that top side, and with just a little bit of help, they'll be able to go all the way around you.
These 4 cars have made a breakaway. The Bolt beating the bumper off the 37, but they're going to have lap traffic in about the next corner and a half that they're going to have to navigate. We'll have to wait and see what happens, as it's the 37 of Track Bar, the 18 of the Bolt, the 6 of Tom, and the 3 of J-Mac attack is our top 4.
Yeah, and it looks like they're staying pretty much nose to tail. You can see they are using their angles right. They're getting down to the bottom as they scoot up under the number 4. It looks like a lap vehicle. Back to the start-finish line. Track bar is still your leader.
That's going to be K Rainey in the number 4. He's going to go a lap down. He's going to let these leaders race it out as they're still single file through 1 and 2. J-Mac is in 4th, using the draft. He said it in the pre-race show, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get out here and race with these guys. And he's showing it right now. What happens when a J-Mac is aggressive and not passive? He can hang with these guys in the top 4 as we come off of turn 4.
Yeah, definitely a great showing for J-Mac. He's showing that he's just not a tactician, but he has raw speed also. So look to see, though, him being in 4th, he may be showing raw speed, but he's still going to be able to save a couple laps of gas running back there.
They're saying they can't hear you, Red. I got you maxed as loud as I can, so you might have to yell a little bit more, but we'll adjust the volumes to see if that fixes. Chat, let us know if you can't hear Red, his beautiful Southern Georgia voice, as Track Bar is leading the bull down the front stretch. He's going to lead this lap once again. Lap 24 in the books. Lap 25 has just began as they dive into turn 1.
Yeah, as they're coming into turn 1, it looks like Track Bar and the Bolt has definitely started separating themselves from J-Mac and Tom Tom back there. It could be a calculated move, though, given the race and the number of laps. So we'll have to see a little later on what they're actually planning.
And as we're watching these two, we're starting to see the gap be created. The 3-car J-Mac has moved his way to 3rd. The Tom Tom has fallen back like a rock, and the Lakahatchee back and 4th. And he's got the 5th place car, and I'm trying to get a number on that. I think that's the 19. I'm not quite positive. It may be Freddie in that Bass Pro. Let's take a look, see if we can't bounce through the field and get our eyes on that car here.
Yeah, doing the same thing here, Zane, trying to come up the J-Mac. The Moordog will...
Nope, it's 8. It's going to be the 8 car, a Big John stud, my middle name Mud. He's running that Tracker Boats Chevrolet Camaro. He's in the top 5, running down his unofficial teammates, or J-Mac, who's in 3rd. But we got a battle for the lead right now, as the Bolt was looking to the inside of Track Bar, but he's going to slow it out because the caution just came out.
Yeah, it looked like the 48, I believe that's going to be the 48 of Amore Smoke, got turned around there on the front stretch. Ain't exactly sure how that happened. But with 108 laps remaining, I see everybody coming in for 4 fresh Goodyears and full tank.
Oh yeah, definitely. 4 fresh Goodyears and a tank full of virtual Sunoco race fuel. They ran about 26 laps. We've had 3 cautions so far out of the 134 laps we have planned here at Las Vegas. And Track Bar's been putting on a clinic, but you know what? I'm going to say the Bolt is just riding and waiting. He's maintaining. He's done this a couple of weeks now, where he just sits behind the 37, let him do all the heavy lifting, and then finds a way to get around him to put that 18 in victory lane. But the cars are stacked up double file. We're going green flag racing once again at Las Vegas, and the green flag is out. And Track Bar leads them to the line.
Yeah, as we go into turn 1, you see them 2 by 2 all the way back in the field around 9th, 10th place. You see them 3 wide. Hopefully that'll get straightened out. As we dive off into 2, looks like the 8 pushes way wide, opening the door for Moordog on the bottom.
Definitely opens the door for Moordog, but right now they're nose to tail of these top 3 cars, the 37, the 18, and the 3. It is a Toyota sandwich with the bread being 2 Chevrolets. Tom Tom still maintaining in 4th as we come off of 4. And look, there he is, Brian Tedeschi in the 22, now makes an appearance in the top 5.
Yep, as we round back into turn 1, Track Bar still leading your field with Bolt. I'm trying to get back to Tedeschi and Tom Tom. They got a heck of a battle going on right now, but it looks like Tedeschi is going to clear him.
And Red, let's do a little old-fashioned filter time, crank it up as we go green on this restart. And Track Bar leads them back to the stripe here, still leading this race with the 18 of the Bolt and the 3-car of J-Mac in tow. Back there in fourth is going to be the 22, about 12 car lengths back, and it looks like that's going to be Moordog in tow behind him. I can't quite make him out from here.
Yes, it is. It's going to be Moordog. Not only do you got Moordog, I believe I seen the 8 of Big John and also the 14 to Catch the Rabbit rounded out your top 10.
And this battle right here, these top 3, again, it's a Toyota sandwich. The Chevrolets are the bread. And right now, the Bolt is in no man's land. He's stuck between 2 Chevrolets. He's got a lot of pressure from the 3-car of J-Mac, but J-Mac's a patient driver. We know he can just sit and wait and maintain until he needs his moment to strike like a mongoose. As we dive into turn 3, it's still the 37, the 18, and the 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a monstrous pace they're putting on here. So you got to think about what that's doing to their tires at this point. Are they planning on shooting for the long run, or are they just straight short running it from here on out? With your over-under, in my opinion, I'd probably go for more of the short run speed at this point. So kind of back and forth. What's your feeling about that?
I think right now we're seeing these guys kind of build these cars for short runs. They're pushing the cars to the limit this early in the race. No one's really sitting back, relaxing, acting all cool. They're racing like it's the last lap, except for these top 3 cars. They're in tow, single file. They got away. Here goes J-Mac. He looks at the inside. He's going to rethink it. He's going to get in line as we come to 1 and 2.
Big one. As we have 4, 5, 6 cars piled up right at the start-finish line toward the back of the pack. Not exactly who all was involved, so I'm trying to get back there. Looks like the number 2 of Mitch Diamond. I'm not sure if Jay's Fast got wrapped up in it, but I am sure Jose 720. Rough night for them boys.
Well, let's see if we can't get a little in-race talk with our in-race reporter. Dohar and that 88 machine, you got a copy.
Yeah, guys, I got a copy.
How you feeling back there, man? I know you fell back. You're stuck in the eye of the storm. You're trying to make your way back up there to the top 5. What are you seeing from your perspective?
When the 37 lagged, it just careened me into him. So now we kind of got stuck in the back here after repairing our damage. And it's a little wild. Everybody's just jockeying for position right now. So everybody's just got to calm down, cool their heads, cool their jets. One guy just was trying to dig on the front straightaway and hit the grass there and kind of got us all wrecked. So it's okay. We're going to go back green here, and we feel like we got a good shot to get back up at the front. We know we got a fast FilterTime Chevrolet.
And the green flag is out once again at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Bolt and Track Bar are up on the front row. Brian Tedeschi is in third with J-Mac on his bumper. Oh, and Brian hits the apron a little bit. He's going to slide up and door slam the 18, letting the Track Bar stretch his legs.
Yeah, as Track Bar once again gets to choose his preferred line going into 3 and 4. You'll see him dive it back down to the bottom as he pulls that bottom line up. Bolt's going to have to do some serious moves right here because they have an absolute stack. As it looks like our man Fluffy Stenthouse has joined back into the top 5, Zane.
Fluffy Stenhouse found his way into the top 5. We're looking off the rear deck lid of the 37 of Track Bar as here comes Brian Tedeschi looking to the inside. He's going to use the draft with Moordog coming with them. Is it going to be enough to get around this 37? Oh, they touch! They touch! 3 wide off of turn 4.
It looks like Track Bar is going to get the bad angle on that deal, but going into turn 1, he's going to be up high. And remember what I told you earlier, Zane. You can carry a lot of speed as, oh Lord, Moordog messes up, pops Tedeschi as Track Bar shoots straight through the middle like
and they're 4 wide almost on the backstretch. The Bolt thinks about it. He's going to lay out a little bit, but Track Bar is going to mat it to the floor as we're looking off his rear deck lid once again if we can here. The cameraman's trying to spin the camera as it's a storm and some lawn care services down the front stretch. Big one again. As the caution is out here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's definitely slicing and dicing up front. You can tell these boys has been here before. So it looks like your top 5 is going to be Track Bar, Tedeschi, Moordog, J-Mac, and I believe that is the Bolt that's going to hang on to 5th.
Did he beat Go Fast Matt? Was Matt in front of him though? Because that's Matt right there next to him. Are tied for the points lead right now.
Yeah, it was very very close, and from my angle, the way the cars are setting though, I would say Matt is going to sneak into that fifth position, which is not good for the Bolt because that'll put him starting on the outside row about 3 rows deep.
And we'll have to wait and see after the caution, because you know these guys are going to go down, make a few changes on pit road, get 4 fresh tires and some more fuel to make these runs. As they're lining back up, double file, let's take a look. It looks like it's going to be Track Bar, Badeshi, the Bolt, J-Mac, and Moordog is going to round out our top 5 with Tom Tom sitting 6th.
Yeah, as they break off into the green flag, let's see if Tedeschi can get that type of run he got last time. He is all alone up there in no man's land, though, so this is not a good look. See if his buddy Track Bar comes off of turn 2 and gives him a little draft help down the backstretch.
Can't do it. The Bolt's going to stick right on his bumper. And look at that. Here comes Moordog pushing J-Mac as well. They are 2-car tangoing and tandeming down the backstretch. Off at turn 4. Track Bar stretched his legs. They're 2 by 2, 3 wide in certain areas of the track as they come to the stripe.
And once again, what we've seen Track Bar is total control over this season. When he gets out front, he has mastered the art of switching lanes and keeping guys side by side. But, as you said earlier, the Focus Bolt, he has got right up behind him once again and was able to break that.
The Focus Bolt is a deadly bolt, as HD says, and we're seeing that now. He's staying up right on the bumper of Track Bar, not letting him get too far away as we're looking up the rear deck lid at the 18, staying in the draft. The 22 of Brian Tedeschi in third as we go into 1.
I'm really paying attention right now, Zane, to the 4th position battle because we have an absolute cluster. It looks like we got Tom Tom back there, more dogs stuck. I mean, it's an absolute battle. I don't know if the cameraman can get switched over to that one or not.
Let's take a look. We're looking right now at this battle for 4th. You can throw a blanket over these cars. You got the 8 of Big John, the 48 of a More Smoke, the 5 of Moordog, all running in tow. You could almost cover them up, keep them warm for the night as they are battling like it's the last lap here for 5th.
Yeah, and I am seeing Fluffy, it appears, and the 14 of Catch the Rabbit up in the mix also.
Catch the Rabbit showing up. He's usually a late bloomer in these races. Oh! Tom Tom hits the outside wall. He's going to get split.
Yeah, that was very, very good driving by everybody, staying up on their toes, but that messes Moordog up enough.
And we got to change for the lead, bro. Red, I don't mean to cut you off, but the Bolt has taken over the title. He's moved in front of the Track Bar in the 37 machine. Take that, Mr. Track Bar, because the 18's leading this race as we come off of turn 4 with Track Bar in tow. Brian Tedeschi still in third as they single file out with an 8-car length gap over 4th.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know whether that was a calculated move. I would say no, though, because I know Track Bar, he loves to lead every lap if he could.
Oh, yeah, Track Bar's not going to give it up unless Track Bar's thinking here, you know what, I'm going to save a little bit. I got my buddy Brian Tedeschi behind me. He's going to help me. He's going to push me. Maybe he wants to get Brian with him so they can move the Bolt to 3rd place. But back here for 4th, look at him. They're 2-3 wide between Big John, J-Mac, and Fluffy. Let's see if we can't look at this battle again.
Yeah, they've been mixing it up here for the past probably 5 laps. Since they went back green, they definitely don't want to line up. They're fighting for every position they can get, as it looks like Fluffy, getting loose coming off 3 and 4.
Looking down from the FilterTime blimp cam as we watch Fluffy here battling with J-Mac, Moordog, and Big John for this 4th place position. And Fluffy still side by side with the 3 cars. They come down the front stretch in the turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like Moordog's going to drop down and go with him on that inside lane. They're going to try to pull Go Fast Matt up with them. I believe, I can't tell the number right in front of Fluffy. I believe that's going to be the number 8.
That's going to be Big John in the number 8 there. He's leading this party as they're trying to run down Brian Tedeschi, Track Bar, and the Bolt, our top 3 cars.
Looks like they're still too busy battling to actually make any time up as J-Mac tries to look under Fluffy, but Fluffy shuts the door. They come off of 2 and it's still going to be Big John, Fluffy, J-Mac. Oh, the 5 or more dog gets sent down the track.
5 and More Dog gets sent down the track. We're looking up the rear deck lid of the 17 Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. as we see the 3-car J-Mac give him a little bit of a bump shot with the More Smoking line behind him and the Matthew Militia sitting back there as well.
Yeah, it's really neat seeing the different lines everybody's trying to take now. Ooh, what a run by Fluffy, but you're going to see that top side keep that speed up. Will he clear him? And yes, he did clear Fluffy coming off that corner.
Yeah, Big John's going to hold off Fluffy here. Fluffy looks to the inside. He's going to put the car all the way to the white line. Slows it up way more than he thought he had to as he tries to get the power run off of 4. Can he get to the quarter panel? He's at the quarter panel. The door of Big John with J-Mac in tow.
Yeah, it's amazing, though. This wad of 5 cars here, but now you have Tom Tom leading the charge with it looks like
Fluffy's going to clear him. He's going to put himself in front of Big John. Move Big John back. Fluffy up front. He's going to try to lead this pack up to Brian Tedeschi, the Bolt, and Track. But there's so much action, I can't keep up.
Yeah,
I need a heart rate monitor.
This is definitely one of those races that...
And we got a battle for the lead. Track Bar looks to the inside of the 18. Let me to cut you off there, Red, as he puts the slide job on the 18 off of 2. Move Track Bar up front and the Bolt back into second place as they've created a 3 to 4 car gap on Brian Tedeschi in third.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen, didn't know when. He must have timed it just perfectly, or either the Bolt may have slipped up going into 1 and 2. Because we all know if you can't miss those bumps, you're done.
We were watching this battle for 4th. We missed the move, but we caught the side-by-side action drive-off, and now Track Bar starting to stretch his legs. He's got a little bit of a car lead on the Bolt, the 18 car, but he's going to close that gap once again as we dive into turn 3 right on the bumper of the 37.
And while they're closing that gap, it looks like the 22 of Tedeschi is getting a run once again as he's trying to close up about 2 more car lengths behind the Bolt.
He's got no friends behind him. He's just trying to stay in line, stay in the draft of the 18 and 37 car. But that gap is starting to get bigger and bigger as these laps go on. And Brian can't seem to close it as he was before. And it could be, Red, that tire situation. You're the pit man. You know about the setups. What do you think those tires are starting to do at this point?
Yeah, definitely with this many laps on the tires, you're toward the end of your fuel run at this point. There's about an 1/8 of a gap from where you first started. A lot of things change. Either people get loose or tight. Looking at Tedeschi's line, he may be a little bit on the snug side. But I have to point out, More Smoke is now moved up to the 6th position as they are still battling out from 5th to 10th.
They're battling it out back there, but right now we're going to keep the action on the 37 and the 18. This is our top 3 in the points battle. Track Bar is only, I think, 4 points out. Let's take a look here because we have a handy dandy little notepad. Let's just push this button here. Boom! The points as we went into Las Vegas tonight. Then, yes, Track Bar was only 4 points out from first place, sitting in third, and this right now is that battle. This is what Track Bar wants, the 18 behind him as we come through 3 and 4. The 37 leading this race again, off of 4, back to the bumper with the 18, trying to use that momentum, but not enough to get to him.
Yeah, and I will say this, we don't usually talk too much about the Pro League on here, but this right here is the showing the Bolt needed. I mean, he has validated himself as one of the top competitors on Xbox.
Yes, and he's shown it week in, week out. If you sit down, you focus, you're not dancing in your chair playing within a Rubik's Cube, but you got 2 hands on 10 and 2. You're not racing angry, as Bill Murray said in Groundhog's Day. You're going to be fast and dominant. And right now, he is our points leader here at Las Vegas as he's trying to trace down Track Bar and get around him. But what you said, coming to an end of a fuel run, the Bolt just might be riding. He might be waiting. He could be waiting for that opportunity to go down pit road instead of running out of fuel first and letting Track Bar carry him around this track.
Yeah, and it looks like we have about 70 to go. They should be starting to pit within the next lap to 5 laps. It's really according to your gearing here and how much draft you've been able to use. But the pit window will be open here in about 2 more laps. You could have some short hitters. We'll definitely have to see.
Riding on board with the 18, we see he's less than half a car length away from the 37. Down the front stretch, there goes Track Bar. Looks like he might give that international signal, I'm going to pit here, or he's just going to put it all the way down to the bottom lane. The Bolt's going to wrap around on the outside, and there goes Track Bar down pit road all by himself with Brian Tedeschi and Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. coming with him.
Yeah, as we see these pit stops start to cycle out, this is a very, very dangerous pit road. I see a lot of, and the caution comes out.
Oh, you know those guys didn't get to make their pit stop. They're not going to be happy as the caution comes out right at the opportunity. They decide to pull it off the track. That's going to put them deep in the field right there for Brian and Track Bar.
Well, there's something different, though. If you've already passed pit line, if you've actually already
pit line,
line. If you've already entered the pit when it comes out, most of the time you will still be able to complete your service.
Sometimes we've seen it though where it hasn't let you put in your options, you hit the pit and it doesn't do the changes. So we'll have to wait and see. And what happens as they cycle through. Looks like Track Bar is going to be leading this again with the Bolt on the outside. Looks like Big John Stud on the inside. More Smoke is going to be fourth, and then Matthew Militia in the 30. What car is Matt driving again? 32 car is going to be running out our top 5.
Yeah, and it looks like Tedeschi got the bad end of that exchange when it comes to the RMG of pit road, as he got deep in the field about 10th position.
And we're looking up the rear deck lid of the 37, our leader, as he's got Big John right on his bumper. Big John looks to the inside, puts that Chevrolet all the way down to the white line. Can't quite make it. He's going to go 3 wide with the 32 and the 18.
Yeah, that definitely starting to get a little dicey as we see Track Bar being able to stretch the lead out. We come into turn 1, 3 wide. It looks like Tom, Big John, and the Bolt. You see the Bolt getting a huge run, though, coming off of 2 down the backstretch. They were 3 wide, 4 rows deep right there. And here comes the Bolt trying to make a power move. Gets it back in line, standing in the draft. You see that lone car on the outside. I think that's going to be Dohar on the outside high lane, trying to make some ground up here as Matt falls back to 4th as he's battling a 4-wide battle there for 4th place behind More Smoke. Yeah, I would begin to try to call out some positions. It looks like Tom slid up the track, got Fluffy. Fluffy might have got the outside wall coming out at 3 and 4. That's definitely going to cost him some positions.
And here we are riding with Fluffy right now in this chaotic. He's going to get door slammed a little bit by Mordog as he got bumped by J-Mac in the 3, who's getting pushed by the 88 of Dohar. Dohar's going to try to make it 3 wide. He's going to side draft to 17.
Yeah, trying to get my camera switched back around. Sorry about that. Take it over, Zane.
Oh, it's all right. They are 2 by 2 by 2, and it is a battle here in the field. We're watching this chaotic battle here back in 6th and 7th place because these guys are slicing and dicing like they are, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay in a kitchen, Julia Childs putting on the moves. Let's take a look up front, though, because right now the action is starting to heat up as a More Smoke has made it a 3-car battle. It is, again, a Toyota sandwich with 2 Chevrolets as the bread. The Bolt stuck in the middle, the 18 between the 37 and the 48. He's done this all night, stayed in line. As we dive into turn 3, the 37, 18, 48, got about a 3-car length lead on Big John in the 8 car. But look, Brian Tedeschi has found his way back into the top 5 as he's trying to get Big John. And there goes the Bolt to the inside. He's going to pass Track Bar, move Track Bar all the way back to 3rd. Something might be wrong with that Chevrolet.
It's that or Track Bar, maybe a calculated move trying to drop back and pick his little buddy Tedeschi up. It looks like I keep getting the cars mixed up. I believe that's the number 8 is back up in the mix also as they pull back up to this leading pack.
Yeah, that's Big John in the 8 car there, Red, with the 22 of Brian Tedeschi behind him. He's bringing the 32 of Matt and then the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse with them as they're trying to make this a 6 to 7 car battle for the lead.
as Fluffy looks down low, he's going to clear Matt going into one as they come off, and he tries to line back up behind Tedeschi. It's definitely getting a whole lot tighter.
It's getting a whole lot tighter. That's an understatement right now. You couldn't even slide a piece of paper between some of these guys, especially if you look deeper back in the field as we're looking off the rear decklet of the 18. They're still 3-4 wide back there, about 18 car lengths back.
Oh yeah, it looks like Tom and our man J Mac, you know, they don't want to line up what they're trying to get the most positions they can just in case a caution does come out. You know, it's one of those deals they'll be able to capitalize on it.
And Track Bar right now sitting in third. You know what? It might be a calculated move. It might not be dropping back to pick up Brian Tedeschi. It may be just using the draft to pull him along. He was the Pied Piper in the train. He led this train the entire time for the first stints of these races. Now he's going to let the Camry do all the work. And we see this happen every now and then. Later in the runs, Track Bar will decide to fall back to second or third place and let everyone else pull him along because he's done a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, it seems to be the going thing now. It was really fun to race it out at the beginning of the race and all that good stuff, but now guys are starting to settle in, get just the racing feel back after a week off, and not the rust off, as they say.
It seemed like everybody took a break. Outlaw took a break, and I call them on Saturday nights. eSpark took a break on Sunday to watch the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs won it and Clint Boyer got wasted. But here we are racing again at Las Vegas, and it looks like we got a caution out. I think the cars are slowing up here.
We do have a caution, and you were about halfway through a run there. Most of the guys are hitting, high 50% when it comes to the tires. Everybody's going to be down pit road again.
Oh yeah, four fresh tires.
No way.
4 fresh tires, and they're going to fill it up with virtual Sunoco race fuel once again. Because I'm hearing from some of the guys in their in-car audio that they're about halfway on their fuel run. You're absolutely right. Some of them burned up those tires pretty quickly trying to run with these top fives. But let's see, Dohar, you got a copy there in that 88 machine.
Got a copy, guys.
How's that car running for you, and what are you seeing from your perspective?
So far so good. We're back up in the top 10. We're just getting shuffled in the wrong line here, guys. They're making some pretty, sporadic moves, but we're back up to 9th here after a fast pit stop from our crew and getting ready to go green. So we're hoping to get up front.
Well, we're green flag racing once again in Las Vegas. The Bolt's going to lead us to the line with a more smoke on the outside, and then it looks like it was Track Bar, Brian Tedeschi, and I think that was Big John as well.
Yeah, Big John's giving a lot of big pushes right now as he's wanting Track Bar out of his way. He's got somewhere to go. They come off, him and Matt touch his doors, and they're side by side going into 3.
And they're single filed out up here up front. Bolt leading the 48 of a more smoke, the 37 of Track Bar, and the 32 of Matthew. And take a look, the Matthew militia starting to get on their feet. They're starting to get loud as he's put his hat into this fight, and he's running behind that 37.
Yeah, going back up front, looks like we got Bolt, a more smoke, Track Bar, Go Fast Matt, and Tedeschi. Fluffy is back up to the 6th position. It's once again really, really dicey on new tires, Zane. It looks like they're pushing it even harder.
It looks like it right now, but it looks like a lot of guys are starting to single file out up here in the top 15. You don't see a lot of guys too wide. Matt stuck on the outside, though. Looks like Brian Tedeschi's going to take that position from him. Fluffy in the 17 is going to move around him as well. Move Matt all the way back to 6 with Big John right on his bumper.
Yeah, as they're coming down the back stretch, it looks like a lot of single file action all the way through the field now. So this is the point where you'll start seeing, everybody's going to be running the preferred line. Somebody slips up, though. They're not at risk of losing 1 or 2 positions because they're side by side, but they're going to be at risk of losing about 9 positions.
Off the rear decklet of the 18 as we go into turn 1. Looking back at the 48, the 37, the 22, and the 17 rounds at our top 5. Brian Tedeschi's going to peek it down low. Fluffy's saying, I'll come with you. Just make your move. But they're going to fall back in line and single file it out all the way back to Tom, who's in 10th.
Yeah, I can't see from here, but it looks like you're going to have, I believe that's Tom Tom, Mordog, and J-Mac is going to be rounding out your top 10. And they're actually keeping this group very, very tight as we see them starting to get a little racy now. As Tedeschi looks up under track bar, and both track bar and it looks like all of them got loose at that point.
Yeah, it looks like Tedeschi got into the 37 of track bar. Track bar is going to move it to the outside of a more smoke. He's going to use that high line momentum. Can he clear him? He clears the 48. Move the 48 back to third, the 37 to second, as he's now hard charging on this 18.
Yeah, and the 48 showing some speed up here today, but, you know, it's one of those situations. Does he have the long run car? That's going to be the big question. As track bar is looking low on the bolt.
Track bar is side by side, door to door, 2 by 2 for the race lead. As we come off a turn 4 down the front stretch, it's a drag race to the line. Who's going to lead this lap? Track bar takes it all the way down to the bottom. It looks like he got him, but can he clear him as we go into 1?
Yeah, and this is the issue I was talking about earlier. Now that you got track bar on the bottom, unless Bolt can sneak up there and get in front of a more smoke, which he should be clear now, you can get stuck on the bottom or the top of this track.
And we're seeing it right now. They're 2 by 2 for third. Brian Tedeschi and more smoke battling out for third place. Brian on the outside and more on the inside. And here comes Fluffy. It looks like he's going to try to push the issue 3 wide. He thinks about it, but that's going to open the door for Big John. Big John moves to the inside. He's going to put Fluffy in his rear view.
Yeah, that's usually a good move to make somewhere like Talladega, but the sucker hole here is strong. It don't take much to throw that parachute out, and before you know it, you've done lost, 10 laps worth of work.
We're looking off the rear decklet again of the 37 of track bar. We see the 18 of the Bolt in that Toyota Camry Interstate Batteries machine. He's trying to stay in his tire tracks in his draft. He's bringing the 48 of a more smoke with him, and Brian Tedeschi in that 22 Pennzoil machine staying with them. But Big John, stud my middle name, Mud in the 8 car, he's in this top 5, and I gotta say, this is the first week we've seen these guys really start pushing the issue on these veterans. We call them veterans because they raced the first season of the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. They're professional esports drivers, and right now we're seeing these young guns really start to make these veterans make a run for their money. Push and push and push more than they're used to at these points in the race. And look, Big John and more smoke stuck on the outside. That's going to let Fluffy and Brian Tedeschi move up as we hit the backstretch.
Yeah, and it looks like, I believe that's going to be J-Mac back behind Fluffy. He's going to attempt to go with him, but nope, he moves back up to the high line. That draft is just so strong.
And I'm bouncing through the field here. Let's see if we can't ride with the 18 a little bit here. There we go. We're with the 18 sitting back behind track bar. The 22 of Brian Tedeschi starting to creep up into his rear view. He's bringing that 48 and that 8 with him. And this is going to change the face of the race if Brian can catch his 18 and make a move.
Yeah, definitely so. It looks like they've stayed pretty tight. Tedeschi has shown speed throughout the race. He didn't get caught up with that caution that came out. Something I do want to point out, though, a lot of people is going to notice in the stream when the cars are coming off the exit of the corner, how they're over-rotating. A lot of that has to do with the track bar. Not Mr. Track Bar, but on your setup, the actual track bar. It's just over-rotating your rear end as Tedeschi moves the 18 out of the way. And he tries to go high into 3 and 4.
And Tedeschi moves the 18. He's on his outside as we're on board with the 18. They're side by side, 2 by 2 for second. But it looks like the Bolt is going to hold off and keep second place at this moment. They touch as they go into turn 1, but the Bolt's going to maintain.
Yeah, it looks like the 48 of a more smoke got into the left rear. Tedeschi pushes him up the track. So that could be costly for Tedeschi as he loses. Looks like he's going to end up losing 2 or 3 positions out of this exchange.
And we're trying to see what the lap count is, but everyone that we're watching is just looking at their fuel mileage, so they're not helping us out here a little bit.
Yeah, definitely fuel and tire wear. That's what you're going to be paying attention to. I believe you'll start seeing people come back in about 5 laps. You see a more smoke got a little loose coming off of 2.
And let's see, I know he's busy with his hands full. Dohar, just scream out, how many laps you got left, or what lap are you on?
40 to go, coming to 39. You're getting me loose. Don't talk to me.
All right, I got you, son. 39 to go here at Las Vegas. Dohar's getting loose, and he's blaming it on me, because guess what? He's put that 88 machine right there behind Fluffy Stenhouse Jr., I think. Yes, there he is in that Valvoline 88. He's in the top 7.
Yeah, this is definitely a good run. Everybody stretched their feet out, but you see this top pack. I mean, it's absolutely stacked, Zane. And what about our man, More Smoke, up here tonight?
More Smoke sitting back there in 4th, dropping back to 5th. He's got Fluffy on his inside. Lap 96 in the book, 97 beguns with 1:1:34 here at Vegas.
Yeah, and here, you know, within the next couple of laps, we're going to see that telltale sign. Who's going to be the brave ones to pit first is going to be the question.
Who's going to give the international symbol? Who's going to be the first car to give the international symbol? The dip down on the backstretch below the apron. And we're looking up the rear deck lid of the 37 again as we see the 18, the 22, the 17, the 8, the 48, the 88, and the 32. Man, you think I'd be doing multiplication tables all of a sudden, because there's a lot of 8s in this group.
Yeah, I mean, and if I'm not mistaken, we have a lot of the top 10 guys in points up here in the top 10 right now.
Yes.
Goes to show consistency and everything you look for when it comes to this league racing. And I got to say, Zane, we've stretching out some green flag runs, man. I knew we could do it.
Yeah, I think this is the longest green flag run we've had. We know that these guys are going to start making their trip down pit road. They got to be close within that fuel mileage window. Let's watch and see who's going to be the first car to dip down. Who's going to give up their spot? I wonder if they're praying to the NASCAR gods that a caution comes out like we saw last time when green flag cycles had started. But I don't think they're going to get this lucky.
No, I don't want to jinx us, but this thing could go green from here on out. Everybody's stretched out really well. The only downside to it is you are at the mercy.
Track bar dips down. Looks like track bar may be going down. He dipped it down low. He got out of his normal groove there down the backstretch. Let's take a look, see what he does with the 37. He's going to come down pit road.
That's going to leave your 18. It looks like the 8 of Big John came with him. As Fluffy stays on the track, let's run it down. It's going to be the Bolden first, Ryan Tedeschi, Fluffy, Big John, the 48 of More Smoke, and I believe that's going to be the 5 of More Dog at the back of the field.
Looks like
everybody's showing the pits.
Yeah, I see the 18, the 22, the 8, the 48, the 17 did a little tank slapper. Let's watch this 88 though. The 88's going to stay out. He's going to stretch it another lap. Let's see if we can't get our eyes on him.
Oh, and Tedeschi got the jump on him going into the pits. Said this is the issue though, by entering in side by side, as we see Big John's car pushing Fluffy into the wall.
We're watching the 88 car. Dohar stayed out. He's going to stay out as long as he can. He's coming through 3 and 4. When's he going to take this Chevrolet and make that hard left-hand turn down pit road? Here it comes. Right now he's off the track down on the pit road.
Yeah, as track bar enters back onto the track, we'll see how he comes out. It looks like the 48, the 88, everybody is getting ready to come off.
And we're watching the 37 car right now. I'm waiting to see how this cycle runs through, as there's a lot of calamity on pit road, some beating and banging. Let's take a look. And it looks like I can't make out that number from here. Yeah, I couldn't make it out. It looks like the
joins back in right behind track bar, but man, track bar had a run.
Track bar is having a run right now. He's catching these guys, putting some space between them. I'm waiting to see what happens when they cycle through here. Let's give it a moment as they come to the stripe.
Yeah, the way it's cycling through at this point, track bar is going to have about a second lead. So
yes,
that could be some valuable pit stop by pitting by yourself and a lap early.
Yeah, track bar's got the lead. He pitted a lap early. and he's got some distance, but back behind him, Big John and the 22 are nose to tail. They might have enough momentum in using that draft to catch him, but Track Bar's also got, it looks like the 25 car of DC Carroll. How would you say that? D Carroll? Let's just go with Carroll. You know what? I'm gonna call you. I was like DC Carroll. That doesn't work. DC Errol. And then he's just gonna give me an angry DM later on Twitter. I know it. Send all your hate to eSpark, not me.
But yeah, Track Bar looks like he did come out a second or so ahead. But it looks like Tedeschi and them, they're going to be able to use Carroll's draft to help them and hopefully pull them up a little closer, as you're going to have a pack of 3 cars closing in.
And we're trying to get our camera on Brian Tedeschi so we can watch this second place car run down the 37 of Track Bar. There we go. We are on the 22 of Brian Tedeschi. They've closed that gap within 3 to 4 car lengths. In tow, he's got Big John with him, and back behind them, just a couple more car lengths, is the 18 of the Bolt and the 17 of Fluffy.
Yeah, definitely give a big shout out to Big John, the only non-Pro League guy in the top 5 right now, and he has been strong all night, hovering around the top 5. We've seen him as far up as 2nd, and he's running in 3rd position right now.
You got to start wondering, though. You know these guys are going to have to make at least one more pit stop. At least one more stop if a caution doesn't come out, for at least a stop and go with a little bit of fuel. With the way they pitted a little earlier there, they pitted what? With about 27, 28 to go? Something along those lines?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was around 34 laps to go.
Well, 106 is in the books. They're on lap 107.
Yep.
And of 134, so it's going to be close on fuel for them.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to end up doing a stop and go. What's going to be very interesting is whether they do the stop and go for fuel only, or if somebody's going to take the chance of getting right side tires.
And the doors have closed. The 22 on the bumper of the 37. He looks low. He's going to rethink it. He's going to get back in line. Getting pushed, beaten and banged by the 8 car. The 18 has now closed the gap with the 17 in tow. We have a 5-car race for the lead.
Yeah, as we come into 3 and 4, Tedeschi looks low, but he's going to drop back in line. He's going to try to keep Big John where he's at. The last thing they want to do with this many laps to go is get side by side and maybe cause a wreck, because that's going to bunch the field back up, and we all know how that goes.
And we see that 37, the 22, the 8, the 18, and the 17 are our top 5. But sitting back there in 6th is a more smoke in the 48. He's got the 32 of Matt and the 6 of Tom Tom. Do they have enough time to run these top 5s down to make it an 8-car battle for the lead?
I would say yes, but as long as they do what they're doing right now, that 5-car pack is going to be able to stretch their legs out. And that's really what they're wanting. As soon as I say that, Tedeschi looks low on Track Bar going into 1.
Track Bar's got some pressure from Brian Tedeschi in the 22. Door to door, side by side off of turn 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch. He's at his quarter panel, but he's got no help. Everyone's on the outside. Track Bar's going to slice the car down low, put it right on the white line. He's going to close the door on Brian Tedeschi. Now he's got a handful of the 8-car on his outside.
Yep, as they touch, it looks like Tedeschi lost a little bit of speed. That should be able to clear Big John going into 1 and 2 as the Bolt and Tedeschi get together. Now they've lined back up, going down the back stretch. It looks like Fluffy's going to be on the inside of the Bolt, but he's going to let off, get back in line, so him and the 18 can pull back up to the lead pack.
We're watching from the FilterTime blimp cam, the 37, the Pied Piper of this race, leading the 8-car of Big John with the 22 in tow behind him. Off his rear deck lid, let's take a look. Single filed out, no one wants to get out of line. Big John gets a little tight. He's going to open the door for the 22 as we come off of turn 2.
Yeah, he's going to get that draft off the 37, though, and that's going to pull him just far enough ahead. You can see him really throwing that thing down into the corner, but that front end's just lost all kinds of grip. Could be caused Go ahead.
So, no, I was going to say the 41 of Austin Dillon 3. He's going to let these leaders race. He's trying to get out of their way in that 41 car as he's got a lot of front end damage. But that's going to let Track Bar stretch his legs. Now over 4 car lengths as we come off of turn 2.
Yeah, and this is definitely what Track Bar wants to see. Side-by-side racing is going to wear them tires up even more, as it looks like Tedeschi's still on the inside of Big John.
Looking up the front end of the Bolt. He's now side by side with the 8 car battling for 3rd place. Move the Bolt to 3rd. Big John to 4th. Now he's got his targets locked on that Ford Mustang 22 of Brian Tedeschi in 2nd place as these laps are winding down. We are at 20 laps to go here at Las Vegas.
And as we talked about earlier, we are at 20 laps to go, and this is getting really exciting, but we cannot forget these fellas are not going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Oh, no. And you know Track Bar's going to have to pit first. He's been out front. He hasn't had any draft help. A lot of these guys have been tucked in line behind each other, being able to save a little bit more, but not a lot. Track Bar's in no man's land out there, no support. When is he going to bring that 37 down pit road to make a last pit stop?
Yeah, as you see Tedeschi and the Bolt, Fluffy and Big John, they've lined back up as Big John overcorrected and got into the wall. That's definitely going to cost him and Fluffy some time. This is not what they were wanting to see. Definitely what Track Bar was wanting to see as he comes back onto the front stretch.
Yeah, Track Bar wants these 4 to be racing each other. He wants them to get side by side and 2 by 2 and 3 wide in some areas because he knows the longer they're racing, the more they're racing each other, the more likely he is to stretch his legs out and get a bigger lead. He's got about a 2 car length gap on the 22 right now as we come off of turn 2. But down the backstretch, we're seeing the Bolt beat the bumper off of Brian Tedeschi into turn 3, trying to close that gap up.
Yeah, and it looks like they are starting to pull back in on Track Bar, starting to reel him back in. Once again, the big question is going to be what type of pit stop are they going to go on? Because I think you have to take at least right sides. As bad as they've been abusing these cars and racing it out, I don't think you can make it on no tires.
And Big John has fallen back like a rock in the Lakahatchee in 5th place. He's about, I want to say, 8 to 10 car lengths back from Fluffy in 4th. Now, Red, you're a driver. What would you be doing? When do you want to make this pit stop? We're within 10 laps to go, or 20 laps to go. We're within that gap. Do you want to make it at 15, 11, 18? When are you going to bring your car? Oh, no, we see a car go straight down to the infield.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he kept it straight. I'm looking at another view of it. I believe that was going to be the 12 of Jeff P. Tetro, another PS4 guy, but he kept it straight, kept it down off the track, so we're staying green.
And there goes Track Bar down pit road.
In.
So Track Bar's bringing it in with less than about, I want to say, I'm trying to do math in my head, 16 to go at this point?
He's going to be at 16 to go. It looks like, I think Fluffy might have missed pit lane because he was way off the pace.
Oh, Fluffy is nowhere to be found right now. And it looks like Brian's giving the signal right now that he's going down pit road this time. Is the Bolt going to go with them? The Bolt's on his outside as we come through turn 3 and 4. Let's watch this here. Nope, Bolt's going to stay out. The 22 is going to go in.
Looks like the Bolt is trying to get a lap on these guys. Ooh, somebody just missed pit road. Not exactly sure who that was. I believe that was the 8 car.
The 8 car of Big John, possibly. He did dive it down low. As right now, More Smoke is running back there in 2nd. He's almost, so far back. Can't even make him out at this moment. But let's watch the 18 of the Bolt. He's going to stay out one more lap. He's going to try to lap these guys. There goes More Smoke. He's putting that 48 machine on pit road. So right now, all eyes on this Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry as we're waiting to see when he brings this green machine down pit road.
Yeah, and I will say that is a very smart move, but at the same time, a very costly move if it does not work out. It is smart in the fact that he can get a lap on everyone. If the caution comes out,
Bolt's on pit road.
He is going to capitalize. The bad part is he just wasted about 0.8 to a second a lap for 3 laps straight. So you'll see how big of a run Track Bar has and how big of a lead he's going to have when he comes back around.
And we got the camera on track bar right now. We're going to watch as this green flag stop, the final stop of the night here at Las Vegas, cycles through. Oh, I hear someone squealing some tires. Oh, no. Skirt Bush causes a wreck out of turn 2. Track bar misses it. That's going to bring a caution out, I think. There it is. Caution's out.
Huge wreck involving Skirt Bush, Jay's Fast, and I'm not sure who else, but yeah, a lot of cars caught up in that, and that is definitely not what Track Bar wanted to see. I'm not sure if he got his laps back. It looks like your leader's going to be NNR Smitty, Moordog, J-Mac Attack, I believe Dohar, the Bolt, Track Bar getting lucky.
Well, Red, you know what?
Will get your lucky dog.
You know they're going to take a pit stop here. Everyone's going to get 4 fresh tires and some Sunoco race fuel. But I want to talk about our trip here to virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You know, when I got to the hotel, the room was great. The air felt awesome. But even better, it felt breathable. You know why? I found out they use FilterTime filters here at Las Vegas at the hotel that we stayed at. And I want to say, if you need some filters, go ahead and head over to FilterTime. They'll even deliver it to your house because they're that awesome, as the green flag is out here again at Las Vegas.
Yes, it is, and what a payoff for the Bolt. I just said he lagged back and waited, and sure enough, he caught the folks' laps down.
Yeah, well, he did. Here's the question now. Who's got something for the Bolt? As we see Moordog in the 5 car, he's going to look into the inside. He's got help with J-Mac in the 3 car. Outside of him behind the Bolt is the 9 car of Smitty. We haven't seen Smitty all night, but that number 22 of Brian Tedeschi, he's going to round out the top 5. Is there 3 wide through the tri-oval?
Yeah, it's definitely getting slicing and dicing here. About 10
9
to
laps to
15 to go. Only 5 laps to go. See,
No,
I
9.
got confused.
9.
Oh,
I think 9.
All right.
I'm trying to take a look here.
As J-Mac goes all the way to the bottom, but Tedeschi clears him going into 3 and 4. And he's going to be pulled up on the back of Moordog.
Trying to take a look here at our in-race reporters and their in-race cams as the Bolt is leading us around. Let's see as they hit the line this time by
Moordog
8 laps
gets
to
into
go.
the outside.
Moordog wrecks it.
Will there be another? It's staying green so far.
We're still
fellas.
green with 8 to go here at Las Vegas. Nope,
Oh,
that's going to bring out the caution.
Signal from, you know what? That is going to be very bad. Very, very bad for the lead pack.
Oh, man.
Track Bar is now on the lead lap. Not only that, he will be able to start up front instead of at the tail end of the long line. But our man Tedeschi will be getting the lucky dog this time.
But now the question becomes, will J-Mac and Dohar, will they have anything for these top 2 of Tedeschi and the Bolt? Depending on these 3, the 2 pit in front of them, you know they can make it on fuel now. The question is tires. How much did they burn out racing each other? They can't let that 37 get up front, because if the 37 goes up front, it's going to be bad. And there he is, the 37's up front with J-Mac on his outside. This 18 of the Bolt and the 88 of Dohar and the 9 of Smitty's going to round out our top 5.
Yeah, this is definitely came down to a little back and forth action here. Little tactical play there in the pit to get him back out front. Track Bar probably took 2 tires, if he took any, just for that track position.
3 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Track Bar is leading the Bolt right on his bumper. He's going to push him all the way down to the apron, putting a big block on him. Coming through 3 and 4, they're stacking up behind him 2, 3 wide in certain areas of the track off of turn 4.
Yeah, and look at NNR Smitty with that run on the outside as they make it 3 wide coming to the start-finish line.
2 laps to go here at Las Vegas. They're 2 by 2. Track Bar pushing the limit. Dohar's going to get caught up in a mess. NNR Smitty, move him to the lead. Here comes Moordog to the inside.
Yeah, and that's going to be Smitty's tires taking care of him there as he's got a huge lead, or not lead, but a huge run coming off that top side. Can he hold off Track Bar? Oh, J-Mac attacks, looking to the inside, coming down the front stretch.
1 lap to go. The white flag is out here at Las Vegas. Smitty leading track bar into turn 1. The 37 car trying to use the draft. Smitty slides up high. He's going to open the door for the 37. Can he close the door? He closes it once again as we go down the backstretch. J-Mac attack pushing the 37 as we come through 3 and 4. Smitty holding him off. They're 2 by 2 behind him. Off of turn 4. That number 9, here he comes off of 4. Can he win it? Yes, he does. Checkered flag is out, and Smitty wins at Las Vegas.
What a race, fellas, as we have a huge pileup coming past. Top 10, here we go. NNR Smitty taking the checkered flag tonight. J-Mac Attack in number 2nd place. Mr. Track Bar, Moordog, The Bolt, Tadashi, Dohar walks away with a 7th. As Big John, a more smoke being up there all day, and none other than Carroll brings home your top 10 position.
Let's see if we can't get a word with NNR Smitty and J-Mac after that race. We talked to J-Mac before the race. I want to talk to him again after the race. Let's take a few moments to catch our breath. You catch yours. We'll be back in 30 seconds or less to talk with our race winner.
We're going to bring him in. Obviously, we weren't expecting it, so we didn't have him set up for that. So give me a second. We'll get him set up for that. Wow, that was crazy. I got punched into the wall by J-Mac, so I'm really mad at him, but I'm happy that my teammate got a win. Smitty hasn't even had a top 10 this season. I don't think he's even gotten a top 15. So to get a victory in this and hold off the best guy ever in track bar, man, now I'm amped up for him. What a race. Woo. Woo.
Man, I'm feeling great right now. I didn't think I had a really good chance to win tonight. Didn't get much practice in, but I got to thank Dohart and the boys for an amazing setup.
Well, you pulled it off. To run us through that last caution. What was your plan? What was going through your mind on that last lap when you were getting pushed and beaten and banged by that 37? Break it down for the fans at home.
Well, I restarted 5th. I was like, you know what, probably don't have much of a chance. Guy in front of me took 4, I'm pretty sure. So I was like, you know, I'm going to just follow behind him. And then all of a sudden, we get clear of the guy that's on the high line, and the guy in front of me doesn't go on top. So I just took it and ran with it, and somehow grabbed the lead coming out of 4, cleared him, and it was like, I got me a chance. I got me a really good chance right now. Held him off, and it was great.
And if I'm not mistaken, this locks you in for the championship race. Is that correct, Dohar?
That is absolutely 100% correct. NNR Smitty locks himself into the championship
So Smitty,
race.
you've locked yourself into the championship race. You beat the best. How does it feel to know that you're racing for a championship in 2 weeks?
Feels really great, man. Now I just got to work really hard on the setup, and hell, we may get a chance. We may have a trophy in 2 weeks again.
Who do you want to thank for this victory here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
I want to thank Dohar. His setup was a really good help. I like to thank Hooters, Mountain Dew, Kelly Blue Book. I like to thank Nap. I like to thank all the sponsors on the car. They helped with this race win. And I'd like to thank Stout. He's been a big help as well. I'd like to thank the teams, Carol, D. Carroll 489, and More Smoke and Jose. I'd like to thank them.
Well, congratulations once again, Smitty. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the championship race where you'll be taking that number 9 Camaro out there to race for a championship. Congratulations once again, my man. Go celebrate with your team.
Congratulations, Smitty.
And I don't think we're going to get lucky enough to get J-Mac. I don't see him showing up. It looks like he just shot me the bird, so it looks like he doesn't want to talk to us. But let's talk to Dohar. Dohar, man, how'd you feel about that race tonight?
Oh, wow, that was absolutely crazy after the accident that happened there towards the end when I had a speeding penalty on that segment of green flag stop, so that I wasn't up there. I was just kind of riding around in 15th, had stayed out the whole way because I knew, you know, maybe if I can get a caution, I could catch a break. and something happened. Skirt Bush was flipping in the air, and we got a caution, and I was up in the lead, and I was like, I felt bad because I was telling Smitty, because he was a little bit slower than me throughout the race. I was like, Smitty, let me go. I think I can beat Bolt here. If you let me go, let me beat him. And he's like, no, I got a good car. I said, okay, man. So we go and launched it up there, and just got wadded into the wall by J-Mac. I don't know what happened. I think Moordog got into him, or he got bumper hooked with the 18. I don't know. But we still came away with a top 10. Good points day for us. Salvaged some points away, and stay in the wild card battle a little bit there. But, awesome for Smitty to get his first win in custom setup racing. He's one of the NNR boys. He's one of the preset boys. Just came away with a clutch victory there. He was flexing with the best of them. You can't pick two better guys to race against than Bolt and Track Bar, and he went out there and beat him straight up. It was 2-lap shootout, and he did it. So kudos to him.
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely scared me coming into turn one. He slid the fronts a little bit. He was just able to clear Track Bar, and then Track Bar had to bail on trying to pass him and protect his position.
Yeah,
So
and
that was an awesome finish.
And Dohar, don't go too far because we are going to come back to you here in a moment. But you're absolutely right, Red. Off the exit of 2, we saw Smitty swing way out wide, and he left that barn door open for Track Bar. But Track Bar couldn't get that drive off the exit to get to his quarter panel to make it a drag race. So that might have been the race move right there, because Track Bar had a choice: be offensive or be defensive. And either way, you're going to either lose a lot of spots or you're going to put yourself in a position to win the race, and he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Big John, we saw, a tale of a couple of different stories with him tonight. Great short run car over the course of the run, though. He was just getting super tight. I mean, just a phenomenal race all the way around.
Yeah, and J-Mac.
Cautions around the front, but, it settled down. We had some great racing there from the middle to the end. Just a good race, fellas.
And J-Mac, let's talk about J-Mac attack real quick. He was on the attack all night. I want to see an aggressive J-Mac going forward for the rest of the season. When he doesn't sit back and work strategy, he's fast. He's strong. He was running in the top 5 with these guys. He had a shot to win the race at the end there, and that's the first time we've really been able to see J-Mac be up in contention. He finishes second on the night, which we don't get a lot to see that 3 car. And tonight, I really wish he would have came in so we could have talked to him, because I want to tell him, you have to start doing that, my man. You are dominant out there when you actually push the car as hard as it will go.
Yeah, he was definitely
I'm on
pushing.
pit road, guys. I'm trying to find J-Mac. It's absolute pandemonium. We got a couple fights here. Justin Brooks and Track Bar, he wants to punch poor Skirt Bush in the face, and he's just trying to get away. But I found J-Mac. We got him here for you guys here. I'm going to give him the equipment to let you guys interview him. Give him 1 second here. We'll get him all set up. But absolute pandemonium here on pit road. We got guys just mad at guys. I want to punch J-Mac in the face too right now, but we're good. So I think he's ready.
Don't punch him in the face yet. That's expensive equipment, and it's your equipment, and you own it. But J-Mac, you were on the attack tonight, man. You got a copy from us in the booth.
Yes, sir. I do. I absolutely do.
I want to say this right now. You need to race like that every week going forward. That was some of the best driving we've seen out of you all season long. You were dominant. You were strong. You finished second. How do you feel tonight being so close to almost having a win here tonight at Las Vegas?
Well, I wish I would have been one spot better, and I'm on the. This is the first time all season I've had like 3 or 4 people in the messages mad at me, so I got that to deal with. But I mean, it is what it is. It gets elbows out there. You try to push and lean on people, and weird things start happening. You get thrown around, and I don't know. I mean, stuff happens. I was going to be aggressive. I don't feel like I was any different than anyone else out there. Just tried to race, and I felt more prepared there at the end. That's what I said in the pre-race. I wanted to go up there and race and actually be ready for whenever, the S word hits the fan. So that time we were, and we stuck the elbows out. We had a chance to take it 3 wide there, and the 37 threw a block from Hades, and so I entered the quarter a little bit low and moved him, and that gave the 9 just clear track. So fun to see him win. Wish I could have gotten him and beaten him, but it is what it is. And we'll go to Richmond needing a win, because as good of a points day as this was, I don't think that's going to help me at all. I need one.
You were 47 points out from the cut line today when we came into Las Vegas, so it may not be enough to put you up above that cut line, but you drove the wheels off that car, and like I said, I want to see this aggressive J-Mac week in, week out now going forward, because you've showed that you can hang with those guys up front. You don't need the strategy or the tactics. Go out there and race them. Who do you want to thank for the second place finish tonight?
Who do I want to thank? I don't know. A lot of people raced me clean. The 6 let me in a few times, and then I'd gotten into Tom later on, trying to let him and the 88 go. I'd gotten loose off the corner, and they had a run, so I moved down, and I let off really early, and the 88 went by, but the 6 never did, and at that point, the car gets really weird whenever you're going a little too slow and you're not on that edge of grip, and I got the apron, and then it just loose, and I nicked him, and both of us ended up losing the draft, so that was the bonehead move that I remember, and I haven't heard anything about that one. But I mean, a lot of guys, my teammate, Big John was really good to me out there. I took Justin 3 wide, another one of my teammates, and I don't think he's too happy with me about that one, but it kind of had to be done.
You're racing for a championship spot, man. You can't. You know what? Go have a natter day with him. Have a natty light. He'll be fine. But great racing tonight here at Las Vegas. You started in the top 10. You finished second. Almost had a win. Good luck to you next week, my man, and go hopefully talk to your teammate and maybe he'll be cool. You might also want to talk to Dohar because he's a little angry too. But wait until after the show because we don't want to hear any more cursing like we heard 2 weeks ago from Dohar.
Yeah, I would tell you to leave your helmet on, but the difference in size, just wear a shoulder pad.
I mean, I'm a little bigger than he is, so I think I could handle it.
Hey, I'll have you know, I have 3 cats and a dog. I am battle hardened.
Yeah, but you don't have a stool with you.
But Jordan and I are good buddies. We'll yell at each other for 5 minutes and we'll be good. So congrats to J-Mac. He's been going through a bit of a rut. But it's good to see, like in the Pro League, he came on really late and got solid 3rd place finishes to finish out the season, the last 2 races there, and 2nd place finish here. Who knows what he could do at Richmond? So I'm really excited to see it.
Yep, and Dohar, you took the headset back, so we want to talk to you. Where are we going next week for the eSpark series powered by FilterTime?
Next week's at Richmond, and that'll be the regular season finale. Special post-race thing that's going to be happening is we'll unveil our championship finale. Where all of our championship-eligible drivers will be racing for the championship. No points, just whoever finishes the best. You'll be hosting that. We'll do a random draw of the track. I don't even know what it is. It's going to be completely random, basically out of a hat, so I'm excited.
I'm hoping it's Gateway.
Be a hot show.
I'm really hoping there's like 16 little slips of paper that all say Gateway on it, because that would be one heck of a finale. But Dohar, great race once again. We're going to go ahead and get this show wrapped up. You go talk to J-Mac, have a beer with him. Remember, he's really tall, so you're going to have to jump if you swing so you can hit him. But good luck to you, my man. We'll see you next week.
Don't tear them kneecaps up.
Red, and that was a heck of a finale here at Las Vegas. Final thoughts for tonight.
Overall, just a great race. You've seen a lot of different tactics. You've seen a lot of different setups. That was the main thing I noticed. Some of the guys getting super loose coming off the corners versus, a long run stable setup where you had somebody like Big John that was fighting the push at the end of the race. So all in all, I chalk it up a great race. They gave us tons to talk about. It was hard for me to keep up with at times, but it was a learning thing. Just happy to be up here in the FilterTime booth.
That you stopped abruptly, so I didn't know if you had another thought. Sorry, I was just like,
that was the end of my thought.
Yeah, that was a hard curve right there. Like you just leaped off the edge and never came back. But I will agree with you. It was great racing here in the desert of Las Vegas. We saw a first-time winner in Smitty in that number 9's Hooters Camaro, and that's going to put him in a chance to win a championship in 2 weeks. When we go to Richmond next week, we will do a random drawing to find out where the championship race will go. The winners will all be stacked up against one another. No points, just win and you're in, and you'll become a champion. Thank you once again for everyone who came out here for the FilterTime eSpark series. Make sure you tune in next week at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think, Dohar, will it be here on Twitch or will it be on YouTube? Just so I know where to tell them before we go anywhere. Probably here on Twitch?
Sounds good.
Twitch.
Okay. Come here next week on my Twitch channel at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the FilterTime eSpark series live from Richmond. For Red, for Dohar, for the drivers of the eSpark series, I'm Zane the Bearded One. Kisses, hugs, belly rubs. I'll see you on the track.